Disclaimer: this video is for educational and historical purposes only. STP's Grand Champion Buck, Lewis's Grand Champion Catfish, Anderson's Champion Tonka, Patrick's Champion Assassin, Ozzie Stevens' Champion Rastus, Boyle's Champion Bobby Jr., Payne's Champion Black Annie, Kincaid's Champion Princess, and the list goes on and on. Patrick has bred probably more champions than any other man alive, and his reputation of being one of the best breeders in the world will be a hard act to follow. Patrick's main stud dogs were Indian Bolio and Patrick's Tombstone. These two dogs not only proved to be game-winning pit dogs, but in Patrick's hands turned out to be first-class producers of equally good dogs. We at the Times feel that Patrick deserves lots of credit for his outstanding record of breeding good dogs. We asked Pat about his experience on this subject, and we hope you will enjoy his answers. Pat, who were the first people you brought your dogs from? Keith Allen sold me Tater and Faith, and Indian Sunny sold me Red Baby's Dam, a bitch named Goldie. Maurice Carver sold me Diamond, and Don Mayfield sold me Tombstone. Also, I got Dolly from Don Maloney and Grand Champion Hank from Danny Burton. I bought my first dog from Adolph Torres of Los Angeles back in 1967. He told me his dogs were bred for fighting just as their ancestors had been bred for perhaps more than 22 years. Arnie Steinberg showed me the dogs of Klaus bloodlines like Tater and Faith and other dogs Eddie and Keith Allen owned at the time. They were very game, long-winded dogs. Later I discovered the Maloney dogs like Tombstone and Dolly and Bolio dogs. It really is a matter of trial and error. I went by what I saw and heard from other good dogmen. I've tried lots of different bloodlines, always try to stay with the bloodlines that consistently produce high a percentage of good to great bull dogs. I have settled on the Maloney dogs, the Bolio dogs, and the Tater and Faith lines because these bloodlines have worked the best for me and produced good individuals. I also like the dogs that come from Indian Sunny's Corvino dog, Crusher, and the old Carver dogs with little or no Bullisson bloodlines in them. The reason why I bought Tombstone from Don Mayfield was because I talked to Bert Sorrells and Indian Sunny and other California dogmen, and they all said he was a good dog. What qualities are you looking for in a dog? Gameness. The desire to keep fighting when a dog is hurt, tired, and losing. That is the most important quality. Endurance, often called stamina or natural air, is the next most important quality in my book. I like a smart fighting dog that can adapt to his opponent. Speed, strength, and good balance in a dog contribute to a dog's wrestling ability. A hard bite and the ability to keep biting hard can certainly help a dog to win. I like a dog to stay after his opponent that has quit. I seek a good finisher. A good head fighter is my favorite style because they can often win without getting hurt much. A good head dog can be effective against any other style. Indian Bolio was the best head fighter I've ever seen, and he was also the best stud dog I know of. I sometimes hear other dogmen say this dog or that dog would have easily beaten Bolio. I don't believe it. He was the all-around best fighting dog I ever saw, pound for pound. Where did you get Bolio from? Bolio was taken from Indian Sunny's yard after some kind of dispute with some people I can't name. I had no part in this. Sunny and I did not like each other too much, but again I had no part in taking Bolio from his yard. Anyway, the people who took Bolio from Sunny had trouble keeping Bolio after he bit a kid. They brought Bolio to my yard for safekeeping. If the situation was reversed, I know for sure Sunny would do the same. Maurice Carver had bred Bolio together with Eddie Klaus, and I believe Floyd Boudreau and Benny Clayton owned the dog before Sunny did. He produced C.H. Greb, an extremely rough, hard-biting, dead-game dog. He was a chess dog mainly. Number 2, Kincaid's C.H. Princess, almost unbeatable at 39 pounds. She was a hard-mouthed dog that fought the head and the legs. Number 3, C.H. Dagon. He was a son of Tuffy and killed dogs in less than 30 minutes. He liked the chest, throat, stomach, kidneys, and face. Number 4, Patrick's Chen Lang. He could fight like hell at full speed until his opponent was exhausted. He was strong and very fast, but a light biter. Number 5, Patrick's Bullboy Bob. A brother to C.H. Dagon, an all-around talented dog, at his best on the nose. Number 6, Patrick's Red Baby, a talented hard-biting head dog that has produced many good dogs herself. Number 7 and 8, Pinky, a litter sister to Red Baby, and Baby Spike. Both of these dogs were similar to Red Baby. Number 10, Kid's Blackie, a brother to C.H. Blackie, a brother to C.H. Princess and Chen Lang with a similar style and ability. Number 11 to 15, Pretty Girl, Boogie, No Name, Pinhead, and Bertha. They were all sisters to C.H. Princess, and they were all just as good as she was. Number 16, CH. Kramer, a son of Sable, a real good all-around fighter. Fast and skillful. Number 17, Commander Whitehead. He was 7/8 Bolio genes. A hard biter on the legs and head. Number 18, Rojo, a son of GR. CH. Hope. He killed dogs with his chest and shoulder holds. Number 19, Kincaid's Rolo. He was a game, long-winded dog and an extra hard scratcher. Rolo was a son of CH. Princess. Number 20, Patrick's Kona, a daughter of Bonnie Maroney, Tonka's sister. Kona was an ace, very fast and strong with a hard bite. Number 21, Eldo Spitz Cortaro, an inbred son of Bolio. He was never matched for money, but he was very game, with great natural air. He bites hard and is a good head dog. There were a lot more outstanding Bolio dogs, but Elver bragged about him enough for one interview. If you had to breed to a male dog outside your own kennels, which one would you pick and why? There are a few good ones. I would like to breed to some good bitches. One of them would be Smith's Red Rock. He is a pit ace with gameness and head fighting style I like. He is an inbred CH. Tonka dog, and I already own his sister Anderson's Rose, and all her pups turned out game. Another dog would be Diamond Jim's Luther. This dog is very heavy and Carver's iron head, and he was bred to my Rose bitch when Diamond Jim owned her. From this breeding came some great dogs. Also Rodriguez's CH. Midnight. This dog has taken some good dogs out very quickly. He is a well-bred dog with perfect conformation for combat. Another dog I like is Allen's GR. CH. Robert T. He has the head fighting style I like, and he is a blend of the Carver's Black Widow and my Tater and Faith, Bolio and Tombstone blood. He proved his great stamina in a 3-hour win. When and why did you buy Anderson's CH? Ton CH. Tonka was about 7 or 8 years old when I bought him from Ronnie Anderson. He is out of Tombstone and Red Baby. This, plus the fact that he is a very good fighting dog and a hell of a producer, convinced me to buy him from Ronnie. I can't keep track of all the dogs that he produced because Ronnie bred him often before I got him, but I will name you a few that I know of. When he was bred to Sherwood's Blondie, a 2-time winner herself, he sired CH. Sean and CH. Willie Booger. When bred to Anderson's Robin, he produced CH. Billy and CH. Buck. He also sired CH. Bosifus and CH. Samantha, who is still being campaigned. CH. Tonka is not recognized as ROM in the Sporting Dog Journal, and that's a real rip-off. He should definitely be ROM, and I'm sure if he were a Georgia-bred dog he would be. What was your relation to Anderson, Carver, Indian Sonny, or other dogmen? Anderson and I did business together, and I considered him a friend of mine. I purchased one dog from Maurice Carver on a weekend visit to his place. I wish I had purchased more dogs from him at the time, because I believe he had the best dog yard in the world from about 1968 to maybe 1978. Indian Sonny has lots of knowledge and experience, and I like the bloodlines that he uses. Carl Wynn runs a smaller yard, but he also knows how to breed good dogs. I believe that these people are good breeders, and I respect them for that. Floyd Boudreau and Gary Hammonds also have great knowledge and experience, and many famous dogs have come from their yards. Bobby Smith of Texas always had good dogs in his yard, and he has probably seen more fights in his life than anybody else. Ron of the UNS Kennels in Europe is a very intelligent breeder, and he is putting out some of the best dogs in the world. Mike Harrison, Darren Steele, Bruce Foster and Navarro will be breeding outstanding dogs in the future. What do you consider more important, pedigree or individual performance? To me, pedigree and individual performance are equal in importance. All dogs have their own genes, different from other dogs, even his own brother. I think the better dogs have the better genes most often. Sometimes a very good dog comes along with not much quality in their pedigree. Maybe he is a throwback to some of his few good ancestors, but a dog like this is never a good producer. I would not use a pit ace for breeding if he did not have a solid pedigree. I would not use a super bred dog for breeding if he was not also game. For best results you need both good breeding and performance. There is no compromise. What is the best dog on your yard right now? Patrick's Homer. He is a son of Eldo Spitz and a pure Klaus bitch named Cricket. His parents are dead game. I purchased him from Gene Wright. Gene had won twice with him when his opponents were picked up in less than 20 minutes. He also collected some forfeits. I bought Homer in his prime, or else he would surely have made grand champion at 30 pounds. I would really like to take this opportunity to thank Gene for selling me this great little dog. His pups are very game talented dogs, and he will be ROM soon. How do you determine the quality of your dogs, and especially in those you sell as a puppy? First of all, the dogs I use must show the traits we talked about before, like gameness and determination to keep fighting while under pressure. When I breed a well-bred game male to a well-bred game female, I have all the confidence in the world that the pups I sell have a good chance to be game too. Due to the strict laws, I can't roll or match dogs, and I must, and do, obey these laws. However, my breeding stock is all proven game even if someone else did the testing. I cannot legally fight dogs or sell them to fight, and I obey this law, but it is not illegal to breed proven game dogs or retired champions, and this is what I do. Ch. Tonka is a good example of this. He won 3 matches in front of many people in another part of this country, and when he came to me on my yard, he never had another tooth in him. I don't like these laws, but they exist, and I obey them for my own safety. What can you tell me about Tombstone? Tombstone was a deep game dog that won a come-from-behind fight in the hands of Don Mayfield against a dog that was considered unbeatable. I used that Tombstone as a stud dog and sired many good dogs. When I bred him to Bolio's daughter Red Baby, he produced Ch. Tonka, who was a very hard-biting nosed dog. In the same litter were Ch. Snubby, Wilson Ch. Crash, and Duganzali. He won twice with the head fighting style that was the trademark of this litter. Then there was Falconetti, a one-time winner, Merit Snapper, a one-time winner, and also Crumbs Cremator. This female won 2 matches and no takers after that. Ruth Smash was also out of Tombstone and Red Baby, and he won at 48 pounds. He was foolishly matched into a 58-pound dog, and he was killed in this match. 8 pups out of this combination won 17 matches and lost only once. Tombstone also produced Louis Gr. Ch. Hope, she was out of Ch. Catfish. Hope could do it all. Her combination of wrestling and hard-biting, stamina, and gameness was too much for the 40-pound bitches of her day. Furthermore, he produced 3 males that won about 10 matches between them when he was bred to Ozzie Stevens Precious. There was Ch. Tuffy, who was Hope's brother. He was not fast or smart, but strong with good air and plenty of gameness to get the job done. Tombstone also sired Pool Ch. Teresa, who won 5 but lost 1. What do you believe to be more important, the stud dog or the brood bitch? I really believe that both male and female are equally important. They both contribute 50% on average to the genetic makeup of the pups, and that's why both pedigree and quality of the individual dog must be of first class. Why did you sell Gr. Ch. Hank to Andre Giroux? Well, I bought Hank from Danny Burton after he won his title, and I bred him to several of my good bitches. He sired some good dogs when I bred him to Red Baby. However, on the average, Hank did not sire the percentage of good to great dogs that some of my other stud dogs did. I offered him for sale, and it so happened that Andre Giroux made me a good offer for him, and that's why I sold him. Hank sired Ch. Assassin when I bred him to Red Baby. Besides the dogs that were sired by Bolio or Tombstone, what other well-known dogs did you breed? Quite a few. For instance, Gr. Ch. Buck, he beat the Rebels Gr. Ch. Sandman in his last match in 3 hours 12 minutes. He was out of Patrick's Golden Boy, a son of Keno, and out of a bitch I named Red Lady. Keno also sired Payne Ch. Black Annie when I bred him to Slick. Keno himself was sired by Tombstone, and he was a very game dog, but never matched. When I bred Bull Boy Bob to Blitz, I got Steel Ch. Hammer. When bred to Mabel, he produced Boyle Ch. Bobby Jr. When I bred 4 bits to Blitz, I got Wichita's Ch. Blaze. Another stud dog of mine named Bolio Jr. sired Dan Ch. BJ and Gr. Ch. Oho Azul. I bred Patrick's Jose to a bitch from McCary, and that produced Steven Ch. Rasta sent Chance's Bobby McGee. I also bred Patrick's Billy to a bitch of Arnold Steinberg, and from that combination came Steinberg's Ch. Jody. When Billy was bred to my old Sable bitch, he produced Steven Ch. Tammy. Altogether I believe I bred more than 30 champions, and that is not counting the truckloads of 1- and 2-time winners that came out of my brood stock. Who do you believe is the best dogman all around? That's a tough question to answer. Perhaps? Well, I believe that Bobby Smith from Texas is one of the very best dogmen in the USA. He is a knowledgeable, an honest man, and he and his sons know how to put one in shape too. Another guy that is very dedicated and also a very good conditioner is Ron Elvelink from UNS Kennels in Europe. I believe that these 2 men are as good as anybody else when it comes breeding and shaping a good pit bull dog. There are others with a high percentage of wins, but you also hear a lot of rumors about these guys doing this and that, and to me a good dog man is an honest man that takes pride in his dealings. What is your advice to a young man that wants to breed his own dogs? Buy the best breeding bitches you can find and breed them to the best males in the country, even if you have to travel with the bitch and pay a stud fee of $500 or $1,000. Try to learn from the dogmen that have proven themselves as the best, year after year. Everybody needs to learn by experience, and experienced people are very important to a beginner. Have faith in your beliefs and stick with the proven bloodlines that have been winning today and yesterday, and your chances will be that you will win tomorrow.
I am sure that many did the same. I think that most of competitive dogmen agree that there is a list of important qualities that you want if you want to win. Some breeders say that the gameness is a unique quality and is not required for breeding. Others would say that a strong bite and the talent are not transmitted by inheritance, and that gameness was the only goal, saying, if the dog had other abilities, they did not include them in breeding. They saw them as separate qualities, in addition to gameness. I have my own opinion. I think that game the most important quality if you want your dog has one. But I believe that other qualities are also important and they are also transmitted by inheritance. I believe energy, stamina, endurance, good breathing, and while less important than gameness, it is the next most important quality that the dog should have. Two dogs may be in perfect condition, but one of them will be able to work longer. If the dog does not have gameness, it loses. If the dog is suffocating, it loses. After gameness and the natural ability of endurance, I place other criteria in the following sequence of importance. This ability to hold hostage. This capability will allow the dog to keep the enemy away from vitals. Good demolisher knows how to reach the goal and how to break down a defense. It can also change tactics. Strong bite always helps to win. However, I would put the bite after the game, endurance and total capacity. I do not believe game pit bulls quit when severely bitten. Many game dogs, such as CH, Marcel, showed a good game when they could not win. I noticed dogs that showed a stronger bite and greater rarely maintain those attributes for long. The reason for this is they come out fast-paced. They use all their strength and energy to bite, and after 20 or 30 minutes they begin to slow down and often lose to a gamer dog that can breathe. If you see a dog in a short time, they look very impressive. Deep game dogs with the same ability may pace themselves and start to show more control after 20 minutes. Some believe in breeding for a strong bite by breeding hard biter to hard biter. This theory says that if you bring two strong biting dogs, then you will get a dog that will destroy their opponents. Gameness to the people that believe in this theory is often second. This hard biting theory is more popular now than it was 20 years ago. Some breeders are trying to develop dogs with super abilities. These dogs, though, are often too big, bulky, and strong for most game dogs and may win for 20 minutes or even less, so they believe or say. These breeders were almost always new to the game and not too good at understanding dogs. They have not respected the dogs that achieve a win by going longer than an hour. They believe any dog that has to go 2, 3, or 4 hours is too harmless. However, if their dog wins a longer match, these same people will now say this proves that their dog game. These guys are inconsistent and have limited proof of their theories. In fact, no successful breeders with a lot of wins puts the ability to bite as top priority in the framework of their breeding program. Yes, there is some evidence that dogs with great ability do not need to be game to win, but this theory never worked on a large scale, and it has never proven itself true over time. I believe that all these qualities, gameness, energy, stamina, bite, are transmitted genetically to the offspring, but not just by the dog being bred. What you produce as genetic is a product of all the dogs in his pedigree. A dog can have a very strong bite, but if none of his predecessors had such a bite, it is unlikely that his puppy is a strong bite.